apparently the Andre Ward Sergey Kovalev fight barely did 160,000 pay-per-view buys in the United States, which is a nation of over 300 million people. So relative to the size of the population, those are very, very poor numbers indeed. But hardly surprising when you consider the fact that neither Andre Ward nor Sergey Kovalev were household names in the United States going into the fight. Both of them could walk down a street in most major American cities and not be recognized for the most part. So 160,000 pay-per-view buys. Why would anybody be shocked? Why would anybody be horrified? Now, I don't know what HBO and all the parties involved were hoping for in terms of pay-per-view buys. They were obviously hoping for the maximum possible, but I'm sure they had an estimate. I'm sure they had a goal of what they wanted to reach. Now, when you look at Terence Crawford when he fought Victor Postal a few months ago, that fight did, I believe, about 90,000 pay-per-view buys. So this has done a hell of a lot better than that. It's nearly doubled it. And when you consider the fact that Terence Crawford has a much bigger fan base, at least in his home state, to my knowledge, than Andre Ward does, then considering that, the fight did okay. Boxing in the United States is a niche sport. It is not mainstream or even close to being mainstream. There are certain fighters who are mainstream, but the sport in general is not mainstream, and it hasn't been for decades now. So you have to expect these kind of numbers. And in terms of can Andre Ward or Sergey Kovalev go on to be one of those fighters who are well known, like a Floyd Mayweather or a Manny Pacquiao? When it comes to Pacquiao, for example, he's not American like Kovalev, but what Pacquiao did have was the support of the Filipino population within the United States, which was really fanatical support. And the Philippines as a nation is very Americanized, far more so than Russia is, for example. So the Philippines has had this relationship with the United States for a long time. There's a lot of Filipino people in the USA who are 100 million% fanatically behind Pacquiao. And Pacquiao also had a nemesis in Floyd Mayweather, a mainstream, well-known, household name type nemesis. And that allowed Pacquiao to get where he was. And obviously he beat Oscar De La Hoya. That was a very big deal for Manny Pacquiao because De La Hoya was a household name in the United States at that time. So a lot of things have to converge. A lot of different factors and elements have to converge for a fighter, particularly a foreign fighter in the United States, to become a household name. Kovalev at this point doesn't seem to have any of those opportunities on the horizon, or doesn't seem to have the situation around him which Pacquiao had in order to make Kovalev a crossover star in a foreign country like the United States. And as far as Andre Ward, he doesn't yet have the formula that Floyd Mayweather had for his success. Floyd Mayweather, like Ward, was a defensive fighter who, at least late on in Floyd's career, his welterweight run, he was very defensive. If you go back down through the lighter weights, yes, he was defensively sound, but he was letting his hands go a lot more and getting knockouts. But certainly, since beating De La Hoya, he's had very few knockouts. And that's Floyd's coming out party as well. That's what made him a superstar. So one of the things is beating an established superstar name in boxing. That's what takes you to the next level and makes you a crossover star in the United States. There are no superstar names in the light heavyweight division, at least not in America. So how either Andre Ward or Kovalev would become a big star like that, I can't see it. There's nobody out there that they can beat. And furthermore, Floyd Mayweather was able to cynically, some would say, but also cleverly exploit the fact that there is a lot of Mexican boxing fans in the world. I mean, in Mexico and obviously in the United States, there's a hell of a lot of Mexican fans and Latino boxing fans in general. And Floyd Mayweather was able to have most of his fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend. So he was able to rile up and stir up the Latino fans by fighting one of their fighters, a Latino fighter, on Cinco de Mayo weekend year after year. And that, people were tuning in to see him lose, basically. The majority of people that were buying the pay-per-views. So he was able to exploit that type of, that situation, that volatile situation, that tribalistic situation to his benefit. Andre Ward, again, doesn't have that opportunity. You don't find many Latino fighters fighting in the light heavyweight division. There's a few, but not that many. And the ones who are there tend to be what? Cubans? And the Cubans don't have anywhere near the level of support that Mexicans have or Puerto Ricans have. So, yeah, I don't see Andre Ward or Kovalev ever attaining the status in terms of profile and pay-per-view power of a Manny Pacquiao or a Floyd Mayweather. Unless circumstances change dramatically, I can't see it. So 160,000 pay-per-view buys, you shouldn't be surprised. This is the state of boxing in the United States. It's a niche sport. It's not mainstream. It doesn't really have grassroots support like it used to back in the 70s and 80s. So let me know how you feel in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.